Hello and welcome back to the Avoid the Tyre Wall Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Abu Dhabi, the recent drama within F1 and potentially much more. So, Abu Dhabi, what happened?
Seb retired.
Heartbreaking that.
It was heartbreaking. I'm actually still crying about it every night before I go to sleep.
Really quite upset about it. It was quite good. It was good. It was quite like it ended up with Max winning, then Charles and Checo. So sort of that was expected, but Lewis had to retire.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? I remember seeing that.
Hydraulics, it said, but you just saw him like dropping down. It was like, oh.
Yep.
Honestly, I would love to go to a Grand Prix, but it's expensive.
It is. It really is.
Oh, Alonso retired. That's a shame. Heartbroken. Go Tiffy. Oh, the synchronized spin between what's he called? Mick Schumacher and Go
That was so
beautiful.
I mean, Mick got the penalty for it, but it was satisfying.
It was gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
There wasn't too many penalties. There was the Mick one, and then George Russell was given one for an unsafe release.
Oh, Russell.
Here's a question though: Do you think it's fair that the driver is penalised for unsafe releases because like they don't control it? It's the mechanic.
Actually, no. You said that. I do kind of understand your point because, well, yeah. Surely, if they have an unsafe release, the FIA absolute shambles from the FIA today. But yeah, surely they should give the team a $5,000 pit stop penalty or whatever it's called, because, like as you say, George couldn't choose when to get released, and the light system should be working. So,
yeah.
Rachel,
the lights should work, and it's the team's fault. So don't penalize the driver. Like they're just doing their job. Like as the team should do better because they can see in the lane. Driver can't.
Yeah.
I don't understand some of the FIA's punishments, and I just don't understand the FIA, to be honest. Let's simplify that.
There's so much to it.
What do you think of the team principal drama that's been keeping us fed?
I don't know who's real.
No. Honestly, if Sebastian Vettel hadn't retired, none of this would have started. I blame Seb.
Well, silly season definitely hasn't disappointed with team principals this year.
Yep. I just like that the F1 graphic has updated to include the team principals.
Yeah.
They think Nicholas Todd, is it Todd? Todd? He's going to come back, and I hope he does because he was a proper geezer.
I didn't realise until I properly read it that Seidel isn't the Sauber team principal, he's the CEO.
Yeah. It's like everyone thinks Zach Brown's the team principal and he's not.
So that's his first job is to find a new team principal for Sauber.
Could he not just nominate himself? Could he not just do what Toto Wolff does and be like, I think he's CEO and team principal?
As Toto, I think he can do what he wants.
Yeah.
Toto's an exception.
Yeah. Toto's just Toto. And I think, because in the podcast that me and you did, Darcy, I was saying realistically how many people can be an F1 team principal, and then they go and pull that, and I'm like,
they all go and leave and they just go and swap teams.
Surely, Spygate of, was it 2008? thereabouts. Could that not be repeated? Say you can go from like, I don't know, say you went Red Bull team principal to McLaren. Could you not take some of the Red Bull data / aero thing with you and have a repeat of Spygate?
You so could.
So
I suppose it would be a bit of like a scandal though, wouldn't it? They'd all sue each
like how they had all their points taken off them and loads of money fined. Was it 400? I want to say it's 400 million, but who knows?
Imagine that, just being fined 400 million.
I mean, I'd love to have 400 mil, but
yeah. But Mick and Daniel have now got seats.
I'm glad that they've like been announced, but Haas properly messed Mick Schumacher up.
Yeah.
Haas and I are not friends.
It is a catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
The jokes get worse as it goes on. The 2023 calendar, China's been cut out. Do we think realistically we're going to have 23 races?
Oh, it's a lot for the
No.
drivers and the teams. What is the calendar now?
I think the universe is against the 23-24 race calendar. So
Maybe it's because it's like it knows it's too much.
yeah, it's like this will strain poor little Lando Norris too much. Did you see the Kelly PK Vogue article thing?
Oh yeah, on the cover of the Dutch Vogue.
Yeah. Interesting dynamic.
I feel like, but because I mean she's Brazilian, but she's going out with a Dutch racing superstar. So
I was meaning like, because people on Twitter were saying that it gives the impression that women can only be in motorsports because of the male counterparts. So her father, her boyfriend.
yeah,
I feel like lots has happened, but then also not a lot's happened.
yeah, it's like it all happened sort of in like a space of like 48 hours, and then it all settled down again.
Yeah. Juan Manuel Correa making his return, Formula 2.
Oh yeah.
That is one good move.
I don't know whether this was announced last time, but Arthur Leclerc got his Formula 2 seat.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was last time.
No, who? DMP Racing, was it?
Dams, I think.
Yeah. That's a successful move for him.
I think that how good joining MP could be an interesting call because they've had so much pace this year in terms of Drugovich obviously getting the championship. But then is it like
Oh no.
I can't make
Yeah.
Is it
I mean,
gonna, like what were you gonna say?
Drugovich and Hauger together would be a pretty mad partnership.
However, Drugovich can't stay in the F2 championship because he's the champion. It's against the rules.
I get that rule, but then like, why is it not the same with W Series?
Well, yeah. Why did Chadders stay in for 3 years? Like,
Yeah,
She was too good.
she should definitely been offered another chance a lot earlier than she was.
I mean, it's because she didn't have the funding, isn't it? But on the back of that, apparently lots of teams had offered her a contract for Formula 3 and she'd rejected it. So
Part of her probably wants it to like prove herself in another series, so people. Well, I feel like as a woman driver, you're always going to get the backlash of, oh, you got the seat because you're a girl. But she probably wanted to prove herself in something with a different car to W Series, going, you know what, look, I can drive, and it's not just in this sort of car.
yeah, like the going to the Indy car. And
Yeah.
J.M. Correa was saying that physically women would struggle in the Formula 3 car because of the no power steering. But I was like, how would you know that if you've never had, as far as I can recall, oh no, sorry, it's Fiat Flörsch. But if you haven't had a female F3 driver in the recent years, Like,
Yeah.
how would you know that they're going to struggle?
Yeah. And there was, I'm sure, not to the like engineering of the car, but to like the supports and stuff, there can be adjustments made.
Yeah. What I don't really understand is the fact that, so naturally women have like wider hips, don't they? So Daniel Ricciardo's hips are like just on the limit for the F1 car. So could the fact that they've got bigger hips, could that be like closing some doors? Because obviously you can't make an F1 car wider, as far as I'm aware. So could that be closing doors, like based on their physical aspects?
I think there's definitely physicality differences that would have to be accounted, but the fact that there's sort of no opportunities arising in, I know you've got, I can't remember her name, in Formula 2.
Tatiana Calderon.
Yes, she joined halfway through the season. I know she's in Formula 2, but when you think out of Formula 1, Formula 2 and Formula 3, there's only one girl.
Yeah.
There's got to be
Definitely need more.
Yeah.
Well, Formula E had a rule that I think it was like not when it first started, but like 2015 time, that one of the reserve drivers one of the drivers in the team had to be a woman. But I don't think that they do that anymore.
I think I went to the London E-Prix.
Oh, same.
Yeah, and I think that it was with girls on track. So it was with, so we could, it was on like the Friday, so you in like the pit lane, things like that. Met Susie Wolf, that was very, very cool.
I was meant to go to that.
Yeah, but
got rejected. Brutal.
But I think only one team had one female reserve driver.
Yeah, there's one this year, and I can't remember which team it is, but I think she's called Simone de Silvestre. I can't pronounce it in Spanish, but I think that one of the teams has a girl driver. But because Amna Al-Kibaisi tested it out quite a while ago, but nothing really came of that.
McLaren have now got a Formula E team.
Oh yeah, interesting choice of drivers.
I think that would have been I'm not saying anything against the drivers they've got, but that would have been a good move for them, because obviously they have a female driver in Extremely to add another female driver to their team, because that would bring them, like, for media, that would be a good move for them to be like, oh look, we've got another woman driving.
Yeah, it's just a choice of like, who do you have? Because obviously they've got the IndyCar team, they've got, as you said, Extreme, Formula 1, Formula A, probably, have they got, no, they've not got a Le Mans team, but I feel like, because Tatiana Calderon was in IndyCar, but her sponsor dropped out halfway through, so I think more of like, okay, there's female NASCAR drivers, but like the international big name racing series need to look at the equality of it and be like, hi, can we have a woman in this seat? And then, but then I also feel like the controversy would come that the woman's there just purely because she's a woman. So
yeah, which I don't think the driver would want either.
No.
Like how Jamie Chadwick had said before, like, I want to get a seat because I deserve the seat, not because I'm a woman.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok quite a while ago, and it was like, oh, in so and so years, Formula One should have one female driver and one male driver in each seat. And then someone replied to it and was like, no, it should be the 20 best drivers in the world, regardless of gender, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity. It should just be the 20 best drivers.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I think also some people are going to be very quick to judge with a girl going, oh, well, she's a girl, she probably won't be as good.
Well, yeah, look at like Chloe Grant on TikTok. But the misogyny in her comments on her TikToks, mad.
I think as a female driver, it's like, or for example, Lewis Hamilton, the amount of racism he receives, like he's a 7-time world champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just unacceptable, and the fact that people can use his skin color against him, like you can't
white
say.
man sport. That's what it's known as. That's what it's always been, to be fair. But I do agree that racism is disgusting. That sexism is disgusting. The like prejudice against. I think Alex Albon might get some prejudice stuff as well.
Yeah.
He's also judged on the fact that his mom went to jail, and I'm like, you can't hold what someone. Okay, in most circumstances, you can't hold what someone's parents did against them. Like,
yeah,
they're two separate people.
Completely. So, but that's another thing, like how some drivers are nicknamed pay drivers.
Oh yeah.
I get that obviously having lots of money is going to help them, but they shouldn't, I don't know how to word it, they shouldn't be judged straight away on them being a pay driver.
Admittedly, some of the like pay drivers, their negative reputation is proven by their driving. And people like Lance Stroll, they've proper like stepped up, and I think he's proven himself to be quite a good driver.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword. One side of it, you've got going, oh, well, they're only in because of their money, even if they prove themselves. And the other side of it, you've got, oh, well, they're only in because of their money, they don't deserve the seat.
Yeah. I just think that Formula 2, it's all about who has the money, who's got the best seat. And it's like, because I think Nissani, he's been in it for, I think this might be like his 5th season, there or thereabouts. And he's finishing really low in the standings. He's getting destroyed by his teammates. It's like, at what point do you give up trying?
Yeah, I suppose if that's his career, though, he can't, like, just suddenly turn around and go and work in Tesco's.
No, but he could go to, like, endurance, IndyCar, NASCAR, GTs. I'm trying to think of more racing series.
Yeah, any of them, really, apart from the formulas.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Avoid the Tyrewall podcast. Let us know your thoughts on the topics that we covered. Bye!